Welcome to One Book, One Review. Today's book is The Hunger Games by Suzanne. I don't know what I expected from this. I mainly read it because I started to get the feeling that I was the only one who hadn't. So let's talk about the story. The Hunger Games plays in a distant future, and the world as we know it ceased to exist. The only thing that's left is Panem, a nation with a capital that is surrounded by 12 districts. The capital rules Panem and oppresses the districts. Each district has a principal industry, like fishing or agriculture, to provide the capital with everything it needs to survive. The capital itself doesn't seem to produce anything, and the higher the district number, the less important and poorer it appears to be. Because the situation is not satisfactory, the districts rebelled about 70 years ago. Of course they didn't succeed, and as a punishment and reminder of the capital's power, the Hunger Games were created. Once a year, every district has to send off 2 tributes, a boy and a girl from 12 to 18 years old, to participate in the games. The rules of the Hunger Games are very simple. The tributes are thrown into an arena to fight until only one of them is left alive. So that's the background of the story. The novel is narrated by 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen. She lives in a poorer part of District 12 and is used to fight for her survival ever since her father died. Together with her friend Gale, she frequently breaks the law and goes hunting in the forest beyond the district's border fence. To not give away too much of the story, let's just say she's one of the tributes of her district, together with Peter, the son of the baker who grew up in town, a better part of the district. The book is about their trip to the capital, the time of preparation, and of course the games themselves. When I started reading this book, I had a vague understanding of the games, and I couldn't imagine how someone could write a good book about 24 children attempting to kill each other. But I have to say I was impressed. Even though there are many deaths involved, Suzanne manages to present them in a way that you either don't blame the killer or get too close to the victim. As a reader, you build a relation to the characters and naturally want them to do good and survive. But the Hunger Games tell you already that most of the people you meet either have to die or kill to stay alive. That is why most of the characters remain flat, so that their death doesn't have a strong effect on you. With others, you form a strong bond, knowing all the time that they cannot survive. These die in dramatic scenes supporting the protagonist character. Katniss is an interesting protagonist. In the beginning, I had to remind myself that she is a girl because her life is characterized by typical male behavior. She's a protector of her family, providing them with food every day. During the games, it becomes more and more apparent how well her hunting skills are and her understanding of strategy. But we also perceive her lack of people skills and her confusion at her own and others' emotions. Even though I wanted to hit her sometimes for being so stupid and slow, I really liked her as a narrator. The novel in itself is very predictable. The outcome of the story is obvious from the start. However, the things that happen in between are rather surprising and intriguing, making this an enjoyable read. Although... Okay, spoiler alert. Turn off the volume until I'm back on the other side if you haven't read the book yet. I have to admit that towards the end, Peter annoyed me more and more, and I found myself hoping that he would die after all. He came so close so often, and it was so tempting to be freed of him and see Katniss win this on her own without having to deal with him after the games as well. My desire to sacrifice Peter made me feel like a bad person, but I really don't like him. I was also fascinated by the portrayal of Panem itself, the district's devotion to work and survival under the strict reign of the capital. And the capital. The capital almost sounds like a paradise. Nothing is amiss, everything seems to be available at the push of a button. But the more we learn about the capital, the worse it sounds. The people are superficial and self-absorbed. They appear to be empty and meaningless. The perception of the Hunger Games in the capital and the districts highlights this fact even more. For the people in the capital, the Hunger Games are a form of entertainment. They don't see the horrors of the games. All in all, I can say I liked the book, but got so irritated and frustrated with the characters by the end that I decided to read another book before continuing with the series. Next, I'm reading the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society. Thanks for watching One Book, One Review.